manner. If police thinks in the next 30 minutes you might commit a crime, police is allowed to arrest you to prevent it. But also they can arrest you and find the evidence maybe is weak and give you bond, and that's what happens. So if somebody has been arrested and released, you should be happy. At least nobody is arrested and killed.
Honorable, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And so there is no reason whatsoever for the opposition to boycott parliament, because they were elected to be in parliament, and they are merely politicking, but this is just being charlatans.
Thank you so much, Honorable.
And listen, the President Museveni, like him or not, is the president of Uganda. He's the one who elected. So as a member of parliament, the constitution commands you to listen to him. But I know they will be listening from TV and watching from TV, from Zoom. So it is just mere katemba of politics.
Thank you so much,
which some of us don't want to be part of.
Okay. His name is the Honorable Chris Bariomunsi. Doctor, he is the minister. He's an MP for Kinkizi West in Parliament, and also the Minister for ICT, that is Information, Communication Technologies and National Guidance. At this very moment, the Speaker of Parliament is moving towards the main tent where she will take her official seat. She's welcoming the Vice President, Honorable Jessica Alupo, and the Right Honorable Prime Minister Robin Nabanja, and she has now taken to the tent where she is meant to sit. The laws of Uganda allows the Speaker of Parliament to convene Parliament in any place that she deems convenient for the sitting, and that place, according to the law, will be Parliament. And at this very point, we now witness the arrival of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and the Speaker of Parliament has moved to go and welcome him. That is his convoy making it to Kololo Independence Grounds. Yes, the main expectations, like I was listing, will be the economy, commodity prices, especially issues to do with the agricultural sector. It connects with the economy, definitely security related issues. There will also be a lot to be discussed in the President's address. There must be something to do with corruption, it being a moment with issues to do with the NSSF scandals being investigated by Parliament COSASE, especially that is the Committee on Government Statutory Bodies, that is COSASE, a committee in Parliament. There is that issue. Then the iron sheets, like a number of MPs have mentioned here, it's going to be definitely part of what the President may talk about. His Excellency makes it to where he's arranged to sit, and he's flanked by Mrs. Janet Museveni, the First Lady, and also that is Minister for Education and Sports. You are watching UBC TV, and we are coming to you live from Kololo Independence Grounds, where a parliamentary sitting is going to be held, and it will also have a presidential address to the Parliament of Uganda. The President has arrived. We shall get the anthems and taking to where she is supposed to sit to preside over Parliament, and it is in that session that they will also receive the presidential address. We thank you so much for watching. Gwatulaba ku UBC TV tukutukako buterevu okuvano ku kisaawe ky'eggwanga eky'emikolo e Kololo. President w'eggwanga Yoweri Kaguta Museveni gyagenda okwogererako eri Parliament ensonga ezisuubirwa nnyingi omuli ebyenfuna by'eggwanga, enguzi, ebyobukuumi n'ebintu ebirala bingi nnyo. President amaze okutuuka ne Speaker waali, Vice President waali, ba MP bangi naye opposition teriiwo. Kale katugende mu maaso webale kutwegattako.
Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of humanity, we beseech you to look upon with your abundant favor these your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of such important trusts in this land. Let your blessing descend upon them here assembled, and grant that they may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under their deliberation in so just and faithful a manner, so as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the good of those whose interests you have committed to their charge. Amen. Amen.
Proclamation by the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament.
Statutory Instrument 2023, number 2025, proclamation by the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament on the Presidential Address on matters of national importance. Whereas under Article 1012 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda may, in consultation with the Speaker of Parliament, address the Parliament from time to time on any matter of national importance. Aware that His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda has, in accordance with Article 1012, indicated to the Speaker of Parliament his intention to address Parliament on matters of national importance on Thursday, 16th March 2022. Now, therefore, in accordance with the Rule 17.1 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, I hereby proclaim that Parliament shall sit at Kololo Ceremonial Ground on Thursday, 16th March 2023 at 14 hours to receive the address of His Excellency the President on the matters of national importance, and the Kololo ceremonial grounds to be the precincts of Parliament for the above-mentioned purpose, given under my hand at Parliament House, Kampala, this 16th day of March 2023, Anita Annette Among, Speaker of Parliament.
Item number 4, communication from the Chair.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mama Janet Museveni, Your Excellency, the Vice President, the Right Honourable Prime Minister, the Honourable Leader of Opposition, the Honourable Ministers, the Honourable Members of Parliament, I welcome you to this special sitting of the House, in which we are privileged to host His Excellency the President and receive his address. Article 1012 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda stipulates that the President may, in consultation with the Speaker, address Parliament from time to time on matters of national importance. His Excellency the President consulted me, and we agreed that he addresses the House on various matters of national importance. As such, today we are honored to welcome Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, to Parliament of Uganda. You're most welcome. However, Mr. President, before I welcome you to address the members of Parliament, and by extension, the nation, permit me to bring to your attention some few matters. Your Excellency, since the last address of this House, during the State of Nation address and official opening of the second session of the 11th Parliament, That was on 7th June 2022. We have had 76 sittings of the House. During these sittings, we have passed 24 bills, administered 7 oaths, passed 31 resolutions, adopted 42 committee reports, and concluded 2 petitions. In terms of legislation, the 24 bills passed so far in the second session exceed the 23 passed in the first session. Yet we still have 3 months to end of the session, meaning this session is going to be one of our best sessions. Your Excellency, in the same breath, we've passed the following bills and we await for your assent as per Article 91(3) of the Constitution. The Exercise Duty Amendment Bill, the Human Organ Donation Transplant Bill, the Museum and Monuments Bill, the National Sports Bill, the Markets Bill, the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Amendment Bill. Your Excellency, in the exercise of our representative role as enshrined under Article 78 of the Constitution, members of Parliament continue to diligently execute their duties in the various parliamentary committees, the House, and the various parliamentary and interparliamentary fora. I am confident that in the 11th Parliament, we are going to do a better job. In furtherance to oversight mandate, the House adjourned for 3 weeks. That was from 2nd February to enable members to go and monitor government programs, including parish development model. The members verified the status of disbursement of funds to local governments, existence and status of beneficiary groups, and utilization of disbursed funds. Your Excellency, we are in receipt of reports from members who went to the field for oversight role, and will debate those findings and forward it to executive for further action. Your Excellency, on behalf of Parliament, I would like to express my gratitude to you for your unwavering support during the budgeting process. With your consistent support, we believe Parliament will be adequately facilitated to execute our mandate of legislation, representation, oversight, and most importantly, appropriation to the expectation of all the Ugandans. Your Excellency, Section 8 and Section 13(3) of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 as amended requires the submission of tax and revenue bills and the draft annual budget to be presented to the House by 1st of April. Aware that you are the Chief Finance Minister, it is our plea that you cause the executive to ensure that we have the tax bills and the draft annual budget to respond to the prevailing socio-economic realities of the masses, notably in job creation, skilling, innovation, industrialization, infrastructure growth, environmental conservation, digital advancement, and gender parity. As a presiding officer, we expect further improvement in the performance of Parliament and its committees. And to achieve this, we will work together with the executive to ensure that we achieve what is expected of us. And we are steadfast in the commitment to ensure that there is more public consultation by committees in execution of their duties, evaluation of evidence in both committees and House, that is evidence-based legislation, regular reporting by committees on their undertakings, regular attendance and participation of committees and the House by both members of Parliament and the ministers, continued familiarization with the rules of procedure and legislative tools. Your Excellency, your address coincides with the impending commemoration of the first anniversary of the demise of my predecessor, that is Right Honorable Jacob Olanya Lokori. The House will pay tribute to the enduring legacy on Thursday, 23rd March 2023. Your Excellency, still on a rather tragic note, we lost a member of Parliament, that is Honorable Patrick Okabe, MP of Serere, who passed on 21st December 2022, and he died of a fatal accident. May we rise up for a moment of silence in honor of our departed colleague.
May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Your Excellency and honorable members, in pursuit of interparliamentary relations and diplomacy, the Parliament of Uganda will host a plenary session of the Pan-African Parliament from 11th to 21st October 2023. And the Commonwealth Speakers and Presiding Officers Conference from 3rd to 6th January 2024. As it has been the tradition, when Uganda hosts such a high-profile international event, we will project a positive image of the Pearl of Africa and hasten the opportunities that come with such conferences. Your Excellency, following your guidance on concerns on the threats of homosexuality, what they pose to our children and society, the 11th Parliament has embarked on strengthening the legal regime to erect the moral firewall to protect and conserve our cherished cultural values as people. The House awaits the second reading of the anti-sexual bill, which is currently before the Committee of Legal and Parliamentary Affairs. The 11th Parliament is cognizant of the importance of maintaining our moral values as a foundation of order, sustainable growth and development. Your Excellency, we thank you for your unequivocal support to the 11th Parliament in execution of its mandate. Now, honorable members, I would like to remind you of Rule 10, Sub-Rule 4A of our Rules of Procedure that state that the President, while occupying the chair of the state, may take a presidential statement which shall be heard in silence and not followed by any comment or question. I therefore implore you to abide to this rule so that we all benefit from the message that His Excellency is going to pass on to us and to the country at large. Once more, I want to welcome you. And in the public gallery this afternoon, we have the Right Honorable Dr. Richard Trodong Awany, Secretary General of the National Resistance Movement, and Professor Ephraim Kamuntu, a Senior Presidential Advisor. They've come to observe the proceedings. You're most welcome.
Item number 5, invitation by the Right Honourable Speaker to His Excellency the President to deliver to Parliament in accordance with Rule 1012 an address
in accordance with the Article 102 not rule. Your Excellency, as I stated earlier on, your role here today is in fulfillment of the constitutional mandate pursuant to Article 1012 of the Constitution. I now take the singular honor to invite you to address the House and the nation at large.
Her Excellency, Her Excellency the Vice President, the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament, His Lordship the Chief Justice, the Right Honourable Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Moses Chigongo, if he's here, the Right Honourable Secretary General of the NRM, other state and party leaders, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all and congratulate you on account of going through the following calamities in the last 3 years, because we have been through so many calamities. The calamities were the following: the locusts. Do you remember the locusts? The landslides, the floating islands, the rising waters of the lake, the corona pandemic, the Bijambias. You remember Bijambias. The problem of the high commodity prices caused by the Russian-Ukrainian war, the Ebola epidemic, the suicide bombers, etc., etc. The NRM assured you that with God's help, we would go through these calamities, and we did. Indeed, our economy, by end of this financial year, will grow by 5.3% to attain the GDP size of $49.3 billion by the exchange rate method and of $142.9 billion by the PPP method. However, I want this economy to grow by a factor of 10 to $500 billion in the next few years. And if you aggressively support my policy measures we shall achieve it. How? I will tell you in the course of this speech. However, let me first tell you again that I congratulate Ugandans on account of going through the calamities enumerated above. I told you we would, and we did, all inconveniences and losses notwithstanding. It is in such circumstances that our Baganda people and Banyankole say, akutwala ekiro omusimo obukedde, wakutwala nyekiro omusimo bwashesha. The one who successfully guides you on a journey in the night, you thank him in the morning. Jesus had harsher words for his disciples. In the book of Mark, chapter 16, verse 14, he rebuked them for panicking in the storm when they were crossing the lake by saying, in quotes, "You people of little faith." He did that because those same disciples had seen the miracles Jesus had performed, and yet they panicked in the storm when Jesus was with them, although asleep in the boat. Although I do not want to compare the NRM with Jesus, there is no doubt that the NRM has, over the last 60 years, solved quite a number of historical problems. It is therefore fallacious for some elements to panic when we face any challenges. There are solutions to those challenges as long as we are patriotic, genuine, and not parasitic. However, before I go into the purpose of today's meeting, through the Speaker, I would like us to stand up for a minute of silence to remember the 3,632 people that were killed by corona, the 55 that were killed by Ebola, those that died in the landslides, and recently 4 students of Kasaka SS in Gomba that were killed by a lorry that lost control, according to what the Prime Minister told me. So, Madam Speaker, if you don't mind, we could stand up to remember these people. I'm sure the Speaker has allowed me.
He allowed, Your Excellency.
Thank you. May their souls rest in eternal peace. Thank you so much. I am now directing the State House Controller to send 5 million shillings to each of the families of the 4 students that died in that accident. I'm also directing the State House Controller to give 1 million shillings each to the 14 students that are injured and are in Gombe Hospital. The Prime Minister and the Attorney General should get in touch with the families of the dead children and the injured to ensure that the truck owners compensate the victims and their families according to the law. Because they may not know, they may just know that they may not know that they are entitled to compensation. Our meeting today follows a telephone conversation I had with the Right Honourable Speaker over the phone on the issue of the Parish Development Model, PDM. As a consequence of that, I decided to again interact with you, the honourable members, on these issues. To properly contextualize the issue of PDM, I must remind the honourable members of the principles of the national resistance movement, which are patriotism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, and democracy. PDM comes directly under principle number 3, socio-economic transformation, although it cannot thrive without the other 3, patriotism, Pan-Africanism, and democracy. I have pointed out before in many writings that society is like some of the insect species that go through a biological process known as metamorphosis, which has got a number of stages that start with an egg, caterpillar, pupa, and a mature butterfly, for instance. In the last 4.5 million years of human evolution, ever since man gained the Homo sapiens sapien form, the society he created has been metamorphosing. Karl Marx, by 1848, when he wrote the Communist Manifesto, pointed out that up to that point, society had gone through 5 social systems. These were the primitive communalism system, the slave state, feudalism, capitalism, and were then, that time of Karl Marx, entering the system of socialism and communism. Although some greedy and narrow-minded groups in the world completely dismissed this analysis, and indeed the communists made their own philosophical and strategy mistakes, there is no doubt that the method of class analysis of society is correct, and so is the phenomenon of social transformation. If those who claim to study social sciences in Africa were serious, they would have noticed the societies in Europe by the time of the Renaissance, 1400 AD, were 3 classes in societies, comprised of the feudalists, the peasants, and the artisans. By the time of the French Revolution, 1789, the European society had evolved into a 4-class society, being the feudalists, the aristocrats, the middle class, the bourgeoisie, as they were called, the proletariat, the working class, and the peasants. If you go to Europe today and you look for peasants and for feudalists, you will not get them. The society appears to have become a two-class society comprised of the middle class and the skilled working class. Each of these historical social classes has got different productive capacity, high or low. What was the productive capacity of the primitive communalist societies? What was the productive capacity of the serfs, who are called abasenze in our language here, abebanja, on the land of the feudal landlords, abamairo, before 1928? What is the productive capacity of the bourgeoisie that are conscious of the difference between the input cost and the final price of a product that we call profit? What is the productive capacity of the proletariat, e.g. the industrial working class, that is skilled and working for wages? On account of some of the reasons that we do not have time to go into here, this social evolution, this social metamorphosis was faster in Europe than in Africa, Asia, or in the Americas. It is this lagging behind in social evolution that caused so much damage and problems to Africa, Asia, and Latin America. Indeed, by 1862, when Huntington Speke came to Uganda, our societies were three classes societies, comprised of the feudalists, abalangira, princes, and warlords as class number one. Number two, peasants, abakopi or commoners, and three, the artisans. By 1962, when Uganda got independence, the feudal class were not there any longer, or were much weakened by the colonial system, and the artisan class had either been eliminated or was greatly weakened. We don't have time to go into the details of all this, but I really suggest that you study these issues. It was only the peasantry that were still alive, but largely not involved in the new economy of money. By the census of 1969, as many as 96% of the homesteads were outside the money economy. Abakorera ekida kyonka, teach, may each keken, working only for the stomach. It is at this point that we came on the scene in the 1960s. Comparing with our school studies of what had happened in Europe and North America, we started wondering why there was no similar socio-economic transformation in Africa, starting with Uganda. We soon found out through analysis that indeed Uganda's society can change, and can change through two routes. These are universal free education for all Ugandan children and all families joining the money economy. I'm glad the women came to Chiruhura district, and I was again able to show them how the pastoralists in that whole huge area of Isinjiro, Kashari, Chiruhura, Kazo, Liantonde, parts of Rakai, Sembabure, Gomba, Chejegwa, parts of Mubende, what we call Kionga, Kibogara, like Dwaniro, Chenkwanzi, Ngoma Wachato, Bururi na Kasongora, Masindi etc. had partially underwent socio-economic transformation by stopping nomadism, adopting dairy farming for cash, and sending children to school at their cost. I want to discuss that partial success with the NRM caucus so that we harmonize our thinking. I want to call a special meeting of the NRM caucus, and we really discuss this, because I don't want to continue talking as if I'm begging people to come and cultivate my garden when I am telling Ugandan leaders to see how to rescue their people from poverty. It's not correct that we should go like this, as if I am begging people to do something for me, when we need to do this for our people. I call this the success in the cattle corridor partial, because elements in the society still have irrational practices carried on from tradition that negate progress, what we call reactionary, reacting negatively vis-à-vis positive progress. These are the practices of fragmenting land on inheritance and depending on only nature to provide the pasture, yet it is more reliable if we grow the pasture. Once I had that partial success, by 1995, I went to the whole country and gave all and sundry the message of transformation. However, like the Jews, many people are either not bothered or are waiting for another Messiah, even when the message is clear and verifiable. Verifiable how? Visit the cattle corridor that used to be wilderness, Engando, country like Akesi, Hohai, which is now an area of some modern farms producing millions of liters of milk per day for the local markets and for export. The exports have hit US dollars 106 million per year. Algeria is now going to also buy our powdered milk worth US dollars 150 million. If this area could transform, so could the others. In the manifesto of 1996, we put forward the 4 acres model of coffee, fruits, pasture for zero grazing dairy, food for production, food crop production, and pig and poultry in the backyard, and fish farming near the wetlands. This was the medicine for the smallholders. Those with bigger pieces of land were more flexible and could help the country grow and participate in producing products that needed large-scale production to make economic sense that the country needed, such as cotton, maize, sugarcane, ranching for beef, etc., etc. In terms of funding, the latter group would be supported by Uganda Development Bank. It is the 4 acres model group that I decided needed grants or soft loans direct from government. We started with the Ntandikwa, PMA, Plan for Modernization of Agriculture. These were all money put aside for this purpose. NADS, Operation Wealth Creation, and now PDM. These efforts were for agriculture. With the non-agricultural or broad spectrum activities, we have put in place the following: the Women Fund, the Youth Fund, microfinance, and now recently, Emyoga. With all the pre-PDM funds, the modes were that government officials were the ones selecting the beneficiaries. Especially with operational wealth creation, it initially worked well. Indeed, the households in the non-money sector declined from 68% to 39%. This was most commendable. However, I started picking up complaints from the public of Begabera Boka. They only give to themselves. Balete Bifu, they supply us bad quality materials. Baleta Biabusere, they bring overpriced items. That is when I decided that the UPDF must get out of this effort, because the image of the wider force was going to be ruined by the mistakes of these fellows who were in Operation Wealth Creation, who had lost their straightforwardness. Moreover, it is the ultimate aim of the NRM that the stakeholders, the beneficiaries of these projects, must manage their affairs. That was the debate we had in the cabinet. When people were saying, no, we should continue with the army, I said, no. These people must learn how to manage their affairs. They are not children. We can help them to manage their affairs. Hence, the need for the stakeholders, farmers, artisans, to form the circles in the parish or at the constituency for the Myoga. This is the correct ultimate solution. I've started touring and inspecting the 18 zones of Uganda. The 18 zones of Uganda are Masaka, Mengo, what they used to call Mengo, the districts of Mukono, Ruero, and all that, Pigi, Muvende, Ankole, Kigezi, Toro, Bunyoro, Busoga, Bukedi, Teso, Sebei, Karamoja, Lango, Acholi, West Nile, and Madi. I started with Acholi between the 23rd and the 24th of February 2023. Straight away, the Wananchi told me of the parasites that were like flies swarming around the PDM and the Myogamani. I will decisively follow up the attempted stealing of the PDM and the Myoga money in Acholi, and if they tampered with the money, they will pay for that treachery. They will be an example to the rest of the potential flies. $10,594 PDM circles are to be formed. As of now, 9,538 circles, 90% of the target, have been formed. That's what the Secretariat told us. But I have read the report of the Parliament. The Speaker sent me the report. There are many observations there that point out the weaknesses. Meanwhile, I myself, in Acholi, I heard from the Wananchi a number of bad actions. There is this group in the town, one of the wards, where somebody called a commercial officer called a meeting secretary of a few people to form leadership for the parish model, because they want to find a way of stealing the money. They didn't involve the whole parish. They didn't involve. And yet we say all people in the parish who want to engage in wealth creation should join the circle, as long as they are adults, 18 and above. That is the plan. All producers in the parish must join. Must be told. If they don't want to join it, that's up to them, but they must be invited. Because like in this issue of Gulu, somebody announced the meeting at 9 in the morning, and the meeting happened at 2, and a few people created a leadership. That was one issue which I picked up, and of course I will follow it up. Then in Aswa, they were called, instead of going to the parish, they were called to the sub-county, so that people get tired and don't go. And when they were called to go to the sub-county, they were told, each parish bring 30-30. Who told you to bring? This is not indirect elections of 30-30. A parish circle is for all members, may be organized in their production groups. The ones of bananas, the ones of dairy, but all who want to engage in wealth creation must join. If there is anything that is not clear there, then at the right time, the Minister of Local Government, who has been heading this, should explain it. Then, in another area, I think it is Aswa again, they were told to pay some money for membership. Now, we are going to follow up all this. And this one I got direct from the people. So these thieves are not very clever, because if you steal, we shall come and find out. That's why when I went to Acholi first day, I visited some of these farms. And then I had a meeting with the leaders. And from the leaders, I was able to get a lot of information. And then the following day, I was on a public meeting. So how would you steal? Because we are going to find out. You're wasting your time and ruining your future. So, but according to the figures of the Secretariat, they say 90% of the parishes have created the circles. How? Is it the good way or the correct way? We shall find out. Because I will go there and meet the people. And I encourage you to go and meet those people. We are sending shillings 100 million per parish per annum. Assuming each borrower takes shillings 1 million, that will account for 1 million households per annum. Again, this is another confusion. You don't know what the problem is. We talked about 1 million as an example. And the reason we talked about 1 million, we are using the example of coffee. This was last year, I think. To plant 1 acre of coffee, you need 450 seedlings. And we calculated, at that time the price was something which I don't remember, but to get 450 seedlings, we would spend 180,000 shillings of the 1 million. So the borrower would remain with 820,000 to do other things. That's why we said 1 million. But these confused people, they go and tell people, you can't borrow unless you want to borrow 1 million. No, if I want to borrow 200,000, why should you stop me? Total confusion. So, because they said 1 million, you must borrow 1 million. No, I don't want 1 million, I want 200,000. That's better for you, because that means you can lend more people. Why do you find that as a problem? This was also another issue. You must borrow 1 million. No, I don't want 1 million. I want 200,000. And that becomes an issue. I can't borrow. Why? Because I'm not borrowing 1 million. Then another group came and said, want to borrow more than 1 million. That we said no. We cannot manage to. You can borrow 1 million here, you go and add on other money somewhere else. That was our answer, because some people wanted more money. And we said, if you want more money than that, then you are too big for our PDM. Go to UDB. You qualify for UDB. But here, we can only give you 1 million and you go and top up somewhere else. The circles that have been ready have been given shilling 25 million each. This money has been sent. Consequently, shillings 238.45 billion has been sent directly from the Treasury to the bank accounts of the circles. Thank you so much for doing that. Even if the money is sitting there, let it sit there until the circles are ready. Much of the money is still on the accounts. According to the Treasury, another shilling 476.9 billion is at the Treasury waiting to be sent once the original portion has been utilized. By June 2023, shillings 1,059 billion, that is 1 trillion, will be sent. Last financial year, shillings 131.4 billion was released. And I'm glad I read the report of the MPs which the Speaker sent me. This 131 billion is not properly accounted for, because each parish was supposed to get 17 million. But according to what the Speaker sent me, some got 7, some got 10. So where did the other money go? But don't worry, Uganda is here. We shall get you. Don't worry. I don't know why you people you worry. That's why you develop blood pressure. The money was sent. Pesa tie kwene. Gente tie kwene. We say in our language. Esente zilirudawa. Esente zajja. Obukadde 17. Where is the money? Very simple. These are just I'm very proud that the NRM has promised and sent the money. Those who eat that money is toxic. They will get problems from it. With the Myoga, shillings 100 billion has been sent each year. Hence, 200 billion in the last 2 financial years. The issue I see is for you to answer the following question. Who are the Wasosodoti for socio-economic transformation? Because you see, when I read the report of the MPs, they were talking, there is somebody called focal person at the district, all those people, commercial officer, I don't know what. But the question is, who are the Wasosodoti of the principle of socio-economic transformation? Bani awakiririza mu socio-economic transformation. Who are those who believe and who should push? You should answer that question, and I will try to give you some hints. Is this the members of parliament, the LC5 chairperson, etc., or is this the chief administrative officer, the commercial officer, etc.? Can we use the cattle corridor experience for reference? Because I am here, I'm not dead. I am here. If I was dead, you would say there was the late so and so. No. Tiekan, I am here. I'm not a story, I'm not a fiction. I am here as a Msosodoti, as a priest of preaching socio-economic transformation among illiterate people. So I no longer want to be polite, because normally I'm polite, no, please. Politeness can also damage things. So, can we use the cattle corridor experience for reference? Who authored and preached the gospel of socio-economic transformation in the cattle corridor. Because remember, in the cattle corridor, there were two jobs: to think of a solution, and then preach it. Here we are not disturbing you with authoring. Even if you don't author, but preach. Preach. Who authored and preached the gospel of socio-economic transformation in the cattle corridor? Was this the district commissioner? Because the districts were there. District commissioner, the Sada chiefs, the Gombora chief. No, it was people of conviction, of mission, that authored and preached the gospel, Injili, of socio-economic transformation. They were not paid, they had no appointment, but they wanted their parents and people to get the mushana, ekitangara, the right of knowledge of socio-economic transformation, so that they become prosperous. Similarly with PDM and Myoga, it must be the political people that must be the vasosodoti of the Injili of socio-economic transformation, because they are the ones that volunteered to be elected for leadership. Because you volunteered, you say, I want to lead you. Now, if you volunteered and you are lucky to be elected now, do it now. Lead. Lutera. Now, instead of leading of Lutera, some people try to do Yitieyo. Yitieyo, the carrying. What is it carrying on your head? Yeyo. Yeah? Whatever it is. Bakulonda okukulembera abantu sikubetika. You are elected to lead people, not to carry them. And you lead by preaching. And don't tell me about money, because I'm here. I led people without money. I'm here. I led them to fight, not to eat matoke. I said, let's go and fight and die, but for a good cause. And they listened to me. Leading is not money. Don't bring up issues of money. Leadership from where and to where? Leadership from tradition in poverty to prosperity. It is good for the civil servants to associate with this forward movement. When we were mobilizing, sometimes some of the civil servants would be positive. But even if they were not positive for us, we would go ahead. However, if they do not, the change makers can force them to implement even what they do not like or what they do not understand. Therefore, in my view, if the money is not used this year in the right way, let us keep it. Let us not panic. The issue is not spend the money. The issue is spend the money correctly. If they are not ready, let's keep it. Let's keep it. Not divert it, keep it. so that the fund builds up. Because remember, this money is really a nucleus for the parish bank. This year we are bringing 100 million. Next year another 100 million. Next year about another. In 4 years, 400 million. And if they want, members of the circle, once they are convinced, they can start saving and adding on, so that it becomes a big bank for them. So don't talk of taking it back. No. Keep it aside until they are ready to use it. Because once they learn how to use it, even you as leaders, you will have less problems. Because you will be able to tell them that there is your money there. You go and use your money. Because the money is there. The people need patient sensitization and not bureaucratic kwehenenga. Kwehenenga, you remember the story in the Bible when Jesus visited two sisters, Mary and the other one. I know them in Nyankore. na Marza. Mariamuna Marza. The other one was Okwehenenga. Busy cooking, dishing, what. Mariam was sitting, listening to the word of Jesus. And Jesus said, this one is blessed. Because she has been here listening to the message. This one has been just cooking, washing plates, running up and down, but no value addition. When you are cooking and washing plates, what value addition are you adding on? But Mariam was adding value to herself by listening to the message of Jesus. It is in the Bible. I'm not the one who wrote it. So we don't want these people who are running up and down doing nothing. No. Let's take time and convince these people. And by the way, you should be very careful, because some years I went to Kasese, to Mobuku irrigation scheme. I found there a man called Mudusu. I think he must be still there, growing mangoes. And he said, I did this when I heard your speech, my speech on the radio. He told me, Mudusu. I went to Rengaju. Our man there, the man of Rengaju, he told me, we heard what you are saying. Now recently I was in Paicho, and the man there I visited with his wife, he told me, I heard what you are saying on the radio. Imagine Museveni from Kampala. These people in Paicho heard me. And the one of Kasese heard me. You can go and check with them. Did you hear Museveni? And did you do what you heard him doing? Now, if they can hear me from who is so far away, how about people who are near? So we are the ones to cause socio-economic transformation. This is principle number 3 of the NRM principles. Socio-economic transformation. you, the members of parliament, should take more time with the people. Don't go and just lecture. Sindio. The man is talking to himself. No. Talk and let them also talk to you. And then you see what is, try to discern what is holding them back. And don't buy food and all those things. If they don't want to come, let them not come. You tell them that I don't have money to buy food and all that, because you are not a hotel. They are laughing at me, they think I'm an idiot. Awo musoga wa kobera ntono musada taidi charu kukoba nchidi. The people go to church that the reverend feed them. It is because you have misled them. In the United States, because I hear many people like United States, if you want to be president in the United States, you declare, you say, I want to be president, and this is what I want to do. And then people who believe in what you are saying fund you. They contribute. If they don't bring enough funds, you leave it. You say, I have not got enough funders. These are the democracies you admire. But here, you have turned it upside down, and it's not correct. I will also be involved because I am going to tour all the zones. I will be touring 2 zones per month. And I'm sure some people will listen to what I'm saying because they have done it before. I have succeeded in the cattle corridor with the dairy. I have succeeded in Iksozi area with the 4 acres model or less. We have succeeded in Ruengaju, Nyakana. Nyakana is our active person there. We have succeeded there. We have succeeded in Masaka. Masaka, there is a little bit of some progress with coffee. Even Ibanda, there was some progress with coffee. In Karangara with palm oil. In Ubundubujo with cocoa and coffee and vanilla, although vanilla is very erratic. So we can succeed. On this occasion, so please, now don't start talking of changing modes. Don't talk about changing modes. This is their money. We must insist on that mudukanye ekibiina kyamwe kya SACCO operate. Now somebody wrote to me about the Boli troops. Boli troops are the groups in the Acholi area, local village-based saving groups, which are good. But Boli troops, because you see our policy PDM is to link our people with the national market, the East African market, the African market, and the international market. Because in that way, you anchor them. They are producing what is demanded on a big scale. Now with the Bori Troop, they do what they want. Sometimes they do Marukwang, they do Kwete. They are making money in their small way, but this is not what we are talking about. We can later on support them separately, but this is different. It is linked with the national, regional, and international markets. That's why we are selecting a few activities which we are sure of their demand. Some people are bringing new ideas, macadamia, this other one, cashew nuts, the other one, what do they call the other one? The one with the big seed, avocado. Okay, we shall do the chura for those. We shall do the ichibaro. If we are sure about their linkage. Because like the milk, which I advised the cattle corridor to go into, I was sure it was in big demand, internally, regionally, internationally. And the other day when I went to Algeria, the Algerians, they can't believe, they saw, this is the best milk they have ever seen. According to what, because they sent a group here to go on, they took samples, took to their lab. So there's no way this milk will okudiba. If we had problems with our neighbors who are not to do that, then there is the bigger market far away. Even Nigeria is buying a lot of milk. And we are selling milk to Syria, to also all those countries. So the PDM is first of all how to make money, good money on a small area in a product or products that have got a national, regional, and sometimes international demand. So don't mix it up with the buruchop, with the tuezike, with what? In Ankole they have got what they call mwezike. You bury yourselves. Now, for the barrios, that's a different operation. So please, stop okumagamaga, looking this way, that way. No. This is the final position. PDM must work. The Myoga must work. The Kumagamaga looking this way, please. Because now, because in the past they were blaming NADS. Aba NADS, Bega Veraboka. Okay, we brought army. Now the army, Bega Veraboka, okay. If you have a car, now you do it yourselves. Here is the money. It is low interest money. It is yours. Here is the money. And next year I'll bring more money. Now, I watched some TV groups. Some of these youth on some of the stages. We hear about PDM. but we don't see it. You go and look for it. They are there talking. We hear about PDM, but we don't see it. Yes, it is your fault. You have heard that you are Mugabe, because this is a Mugabe for these people. Your share is at the parish. Go there and check. That's nonsense. You should be told, you go and check. And check with your member of parliament. Of course, the member of parliament is father. The parish is in Yara. But the member of parliament is to fight for you in case there is a problem. Not to get money from him. I am going to come here and we discuss the issue of donation. That donation, the culture of donation is very dangerous. That culture of donating, giving is very dangerous. We shall get time for that. On this occasion, I have not talked about the sectors of wealth creation. The other sectors of wealth creation. These are industries, services, and ICT. We shall have time for that. The only point is simply to state that the PDM will deal with commercial agriculture by producing raw materials. It is not to forget raw materials from minerals, from forest products, from fisheries. By adding value to these raw materials, the value of the product goes up by a factor of more than 10 or more. Take coffee, for instance. The Coffee Consortium of Uganda has again reaffirmed what we knew in the bush. A kilogram of bean coffee gives us US dollars 2.5. A kilogram of roasted and ground coffee gives us $50. To get a kilogram of roasted and ground coffee, you need 2.5 kilograms of bean coffee. So imagine, here we are getting $2 per kilo for coffee, but when they grind, a kilo of ground coffee is $50. And to get a kilo of roasted coffee and ground, you need 2.5 of the other one. So you can say that for what we get 2.5, somebody gets something like $20. I will come back, we shall meet in the caucus of the NRM and discuss this slavery. What is true of coffee is true of all the other raw materials in varying degrees, whether they are agricultural, minerals, forests, or freshwater resources. You now see how the present economy of $49 billion can jump by a factor of 10, $500 billion in a very few years. Therefore, today, I didn't want to touch many things. I simply wanted to reaffirm our stand on the PDM and on the Myoga. Don't worry. Anybody who messes up, we shall mess him up also. And we shall educate our people until they understand. And politically, even those who are looking for politics, this is very good, because now the money is there. Yes, some people are confusing our people, but that confusion will be sorted out. Let's maintain the course. On the issue of homosexuals, ebitingwa, ebisiyaji, we shall get time and discuss the matter thoroughly. The homosexuals are deviations from normal. Why? Is it by nature or by nurture? We need to answer those questions. This deviant, is he deviant by nature or by nurture? We need a medical opinion on that. We shall discuss it thoroughly. The Western countries should stop wasting the time of humanity by trying to impose their practices on other peoples. Europeans and other groups marry cousins and near relatives. Here, to marry within the clan is taboo, zero. Should we impose sanctions on them for marrying relatives? So we should put sanctions on people who are marrying their cousins in other parts of the world. This is not our job. If they are marrying their cousins, that's their problem. Sex in Uganda and maybe in other parts of Africa is confidential. Even heterosexuality, even the heterosexuals, they do it confidentially. How do we come to know that you are a homosexual unless you publicize it? We shall discuss all this. With these few words, I thank Parliament for allowing me to come. And say a few words to you. If there are some other issues, convey them confidentially so that I can understand them well.